Welcome back to another craft video. What have you guys been up to lately? Today we're going to be making this interestingly cute DIY magnetic shelf. Now it doesn't have to be magnetic. I just chose to make it magnetic to stick to the side of my fridge. These here are the materials you will need if you are going to make this craft. Feel free to change whatever you need to fit your needs. I chose, these are the 5 mini crates. 2 of them are different sizes, but that's just because the store didn't have all of the same sizes, but it really doesn't matter. Like I said, you pick and choose what you need based on what you need. These are the colored paints that I chose, and these are just some of the decorations that I used. I did not use that little white canvas you see right there between those 2. So anyway, let's get started. So here I am showing you the 5 mini crates, and this is basically the design we're going to use. Like I said, you see those 2 in the middle are different. It makes no difference with this project. These are the 2 planks. I wish I had the longer ones, but they didn't have those either. And that is a wooden dowel. These are those, I think they're called bulldog claws or clips. And then these are some other clips. These are the 2 magnets that I use. I will say you don't see me doing this in the video, but I did end up having to change my magnets because those magnets were not strong enough. The magnets that I got were from Harbor Freight's tools. They're crafting magnets and they hold up to 5 pounds. Here I'm just sanding some of the wood to get some of the little imperfections and dents and things out so the paint will go on a lot smoother. Okay, so you're going to start by painting your crates. For this project, some people like to put the project together first and then paint it. I choose, I guess some people call it the long way. I paint my stuff first and then I put it together. Because we are going to be gluing these crates together on the side, you don't need to paint that inside side of the crate. You only need to paint the front and the outside side, and that is what I'm doing here. But while we are watching this little wonderful sped up version of me painting, I want to know what you guys have been up to lately. What crafts have you been doing or thinking about doing? I would love to know. You should go over to my Instagram page or drop it in the comments and let me know what you've been working on. Now this craft, honestly, there are different versions of this type of thing that you can buy. You can buy something like this off Amazon or probably even Walmart, but I didn't want to buy anything. I wanted to make it, just because I like to be different. Maybe that's why I craft, because even though a lot of these things that I make or we make as crafters, you can easily buy. That is my child's hand. He wanted to wave hi to you all. But even though a lot of these things that we make, we can easily buy. Sometimes we can easily buy. We choose not to because we like to be different and we like to add our own personal touches to these things. And sometimes these things can cost the arm and the leg, but honestly, you can get a magnetic fridge shelf off Amazon for maybe $20. But again, I just wanted to be different. Here I am painting those wood planks black, painting it all around, front, the top side, the tops and the sides. This craft was fairly easy to do. The only thing I would suggest is making sure before you move, when you're gluing, which we'll get to when we get to that part, but when you're gluing this project together, make sure you leave ample enough time for the pieces to dry before you move on, because if you don't, then the pieces will slide and become uneven, and you'll see I made that mistake with my craft later on in that project. And with the wood dowel, you are also going to paint this black all over. There's no color scheme to my kitchen, so I really had no rhyme or reason in choosing these colors, but I'm just curious, do you all have a color scheme in your kitchen? Alright, moving on. So this is going to be me doing something that I still haven't perfected yet. And this is dry brushing, and I'm just taking a dry brush, dipping it into that leftover black paint, which really wasn't much, and sweeping it along like the edges of the crate, just to give it a more rustic farmhouse, distressed, vintage look, so you will. And I thought about it while I was doing this, because that brush was not working for me, and I'm pretty sure any true crafters in here, or experienced crafters, probably are hollering at me through this video telling me to get a fan brush. And that's eventually what I ended up doing once I realized and thought about it. Even though this brush really wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, as the kids say, it still did its job, and I liked the way it turned out. And here's me using that fan brush I mentioned, which I guess was better. It just depends on how much paint you want to get on there and how big you want the lines to be. I really just wanted some quick little stripes and swips and whips across the front, nothing too serious. You can achieve this look many different ways. Some people add Vaseline in different spots on their project before they put on the base color, and then they wipe the paint off or scrape the paint off, and it works out some kind of the same way. I don't know, I might have to try that. If you've tried it, let me know. Alright, I had to show y'all I was in a groove, so if you see me dancing, that's why. I love Queen Latifah. Anyway, here we are going to be gluing the crates together. Again, you see I have them laid out in the pattern that they're going to be in. Don't mind that middle one. I eventually fix it and flip it. I tore those pieces of painter's tape off just so I can hold the crates together after I glue it, so it'll be more secure. So make sure it's a tight fit. In this project I used wood glue, and hot glue, just to make sure it wasn't going to go anywhere. This was my first time, I think, using wood glue. And honestly, I mean, it served its purpose. Wood glue is best with wood projects for a reason. I think the next time I'll probably just do it with wood glue, just to see how strong it is. And like you see me there putting that painter's tape to hold those two together while I glue these other two shells. And it just, again, to make sure that you have a solid finish, no gaps. Dance break. Okay, moving on. I don't know about y'all, but I like to clean up as I go, and that's as far as cooking, crafting, or whatever I'm doing. If I'm making a mess, I'm gonna clean up as I go. I can't stand chaos. Alright, so as those are drying, I'm just placing these crates on here just to see how wide I want these planks to be. Now at first I thought I was going to keep it that wide, But then I was like, well, the top crate won't fit. Then I was like, well, do I need the top crate? And here I am just playing with it, trying to figure it out. Now, here I thought I was going to place this wooden dowel at the bottom of the planks, but instead I chose to literally put it at the bottom underneath, because honestly it serves the same purpose, and it lets me bring that bottom crate all the way down to give myself more room, since those planks were not long to begin with. And here I am adding some wood glue, spreading it out with my fingers, adding some hot glue, sticky, placing the crate down. And this is what I mean, please let that glue completely dry before you move on, because you see it fell apart so many times and I kept getting frustrated. But I wanted to get this project done, so I wasn't allowing it enough time to dry. You just saw me adding hot glue to the bottom of the crate, and that was just to give that dowel some extra security. But again, please, I cannot stress it enough, and I'm gonna have to learn this myself, but patience when you are doing these crafts. This is not really a quick craft, and it's just because of the glue. Honestly, just give the glue, see, frustration, give the glue time to dry. Alright, and at this point I have glued that bottom crate on, and now I am going to mark off where I'm going to be placing it so I can place the glue in the right spot. Somewhere along the line, those two planks became crooked and they started going inward, and that's fine. Even my crates were not perfectly centered, which again is fine. I mean, I'm not trying to be perfect here. I just needed it to be functional, and it was, or is. And honestly, with it being off-centered, it allows some taller stuff to be put in the crates. They can go off to the side a little bit. Finishing off with our last crate. That thing you see in my ear, those are headphones. Told y'all I was jamming. Gotta have some good music on while you're doing these crafts. Now to our favorite part, which is decoration. Y'all know I love my rub-on transfers, so this time I bought some different ones. These were some farmhouse kitchen style transfers, since this was going in my kitchen. The bottom one, if you can't see it, says home, and then the one in the middle that I'm going to change, it says welcome. And these are just some of the other ones that were there. That one says flour, sugar, or kitchen coffee. That one says farmhouse. I thought about putting that one on there, but I'm like, it wasn't really my vibe, so I eventually took it off. See, this is me talking to myself, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. If you don't talk to yourself when you're crafting, I don't know what you're doing. Because you got to talk to yourself, because who else are you going to talk to? You got to figure it out. Those were some little branches that they had on there as well. Now if you take a close look at those magnets, I got those hooks and clips from Dollar Tree. They have magnets in the back, but I took them out because that's what I was gonna put on the back of this project, but it didn't hold. This was me just trying to figure out where I was going to place those clips. So as you see, I put the hooks at the bottom and those bulldog clips. Why do they call them that? Anyway, those bulldog clips on the sides on the middle. And then I cut some of this little whatever that stuff is to put on the inside of the crates to keep whatever I put on the inside from sliding around. And of course, you know, once we get finished rubbing these transfers on, the last step is to apply the Mod Podge to seal all that in so it does not come off. Now, because these weren't big, I was hoping to find some bigger rub-on transfers. I know they have some, but they didn't have some the day I went looking. So to create more space, I cut each letter out individually to spread it out some. So just spread it across the whole bottom part. And I think I'm gonna have to break down, you guys, and get one of those rub-on transfer tools, because even though I don't mind the imperfections when I'm doing this, it's just so hard trying to figure out the best method when I'm doing this. Because sometimes my nails work, sometimes the blunt, smooth part of the scissors work, or I can do, I think you'll see me use like the hook over there to try to rub it on because it was smooth. Sometimes it works, but I mean, there is an easier option. It's only $1.25, so why not get it, right? I'm just all about using what I have. And I think that's the difference between my channel, my channel and other crafters, is that I don't have all the fancy tools yet. I'll probably get them eventually, but it's no rush. I like finding ways to do the same thing everybody else does with things that I already have or things that I can get. And I mean, honestly, that's the reality of most people. We can't afford all those expensive crafting tools. And some of us don't even craft that often to even want those expensive tools. But for certain crafts, they make it seem like you have to have them. And you don't. There's a way to get around it. And so my channel is pretty much dedicated to finding those ways of getting around needing those fancy tools. And I'll probably be doing a few of those crafts later on down the road, but for now these are just some simple, easy Dollar Tree crafts that anybody can do, no matter fancy tools or not. No fancy tools required, I put it that way. So again, you see me using that the hook to rub on those transfers, and honestly, if that hook wasn't so little, it probably would have worked. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to break down and buy the little $1.25 scraper. Somebody said that you can use like a credit card or a plastic card wrapped in like tissue or a cloth, and it'll help. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to eventually, maybe. I don't know. I don't think my next craft uses rub-on transfers. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think at this point I wasn't giving enough elbow grease. Excuse me. I wasn't giving enough elbow grease. But I finally got the job done. And while we are watching this wonderful transformation, what are you guys up to this summer? I can't believe we are already at the end of June. It seemed like June 1st was literally yesterday. And here we are, the last few days of June, which means we got one more month of summer, and then it's right back to business. If you all have kids, right back to school. Or if you are in school yourself, right back to school. I have to find a few more fun things to do for my little this summer so he can have some fun before going back to school. Probably should have sped this part up a little bit, but it's almost done. I think I did use the flour and sugar rub-ons. No, I used the flour one, and I didn't really like how it came out on this glass canister that I have in my kitchen with my flour in it. I didn't really like how it came out, so I didn't put the sugar one on yet, but I'm going to. I just gotta figure out where. Alright, now that our stencils are on, we're going to get our Mod Podge, put it in our paint tray as soon as I find the right paintbrush. And we are going to seal all this in. And you know, Mod Podge goes on white and dries clear, and you really don't need a lot, just a nice thin even layer. You can put it over the whole project, or you can just put it over what was transferred onto the wood. It doesn't matter. I decided to do the whole project just because I like that security and knowing that it won't scratch off as easily if it wasn't on there. And I think I even added some Mod Podge to the ends of the rods that are sticking out, just because things will be sliding on and off of there, and I didn't want it to get scratched in the process. Now here you'll just see me gluing those hooks onto the bottom of this craft. I'll probably be hanging oven mitts from here. You'll see in the pictures when they're at the end of the video what I actually did with this and how I used it. But you could hang this like on a wall near your entryway, and you could hang, you could put pencils or pens in these, and on the side you could clip notes, to-do lists. If you have kids, you can clip like chore lists. I'm all about creating crafts that have multiple functions. For me, this one will serve its function in the kitchen for now. I might end up moving it later on down the road, who knows. But for now, it will find its home in my kitchen on the side of my refrigerator. If you are lucky enough to have your refrigerator next to your stove, like some people, you could use this as a spice rack. Put your spices in there, the spices you use most frequently, so you don't have to go inside of cabinets to get your spices. You can just reach right next to you, grab it, put it back. And here I am gluing on those, again, bulldog clips. I call them clipboard clips because that's what they look like to me. And I'm just adding a little bit more glue around those hooks to make sure they are secure. Oh, that stuff you see right there on the side of me that looks like money, it is fake, y'all. My son was playing with it. Don't ask me why. It's just big fake black and white paper dollars. And here I am gluing the original magnets that I had on the back of here. I'm just explaining the fact that those two cross. Like I said, those magnets did not hold up, so I had to get some more magnets from Harbor Freight. I think I applied 4 of those, and then I put 2 more at the bottom. But overall, yep, this was the final product. And then, like I said, I put those little rubber things in the inside of the crates, and it just keeps whatever I put in there from sliding around, moving around, falling over. Give it something to grip to. Excuse me. It's hot. I'm losing my voice. But yeah, and that is the finished product. So I hope you guys enjoyed this craft, and if you decide to make it or something like it, please let me know. If you enjoyed, please comment down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next video. Bye guys.